Well, Saturday has just started for everyone, but today we're just going to kick it off with 3 reviews that took place in one day in the earlier time. As you know, we have ChocoPro 261 with 3 matches, of course. We have Unagi, our champion, teaming up with the member from Colors, Yuko Sakurai, taking on Chiko Shikawa and Sayaka, and we got plenty more things taking place. But also we got New Japan Pro Wrestling with Battle Atom as we continue on. We're in day 2 in Cork Hall once again. And then finally, NWA USA. Certain things have taken place regarding the women's tag division and the United States tag team division, and so on and so on and so on. But also we got some news updates, and one of those updates is regarding to something that took place earlier on Instagram Live involving Unagi Sayaka. As I mentioned, I'll be doing an Unagi watch, and this is the perfect timing for that. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jay, right here. So, let's begin with ChocoPro 261. As you know, we're almost getting closer into the end. As you know, the last time I mentioned there will be some 8 events taking place. Looks like we're almost done with that. Our opening match, we have tag team action. We got Tokiko Kirihara and Antonio Honda, known as Black Kamachi. They take on against Sarui from Dragon Ninja and CDK's very own and one half of the tag team champions, Masahiro Takanashi. Now, as you guys know, this type of match, we know Masahiro Takanashi. He's a very not dirty person. He knows how to find ways to win the match no matter what. However, he has to be prepared against the guys like Antonio Honda, who always have something up his sleeve. As you know, they always trying to use comedy into their shows. But however, in this particular match, things would have gone into Masahiro Takanashi's way, but apparently they drove Masa right through Sarui through the window, isolating her away from Antonio Honda and pinning him. Now, however, at the end of in the post match, Antonio Honda thought that he won the Asian Dream Tag Team titles. This was a non-title match, and not to mention, it was never discussed or talked about. But Masa said it was no title match, but he acted like he did. This is not the first time it happened. I know there was a moment where he thought the same thing too, but Emi Sakura told him that he did not win the match, did not win the title, but he acted like he did once again. But now, apparently Masa has no other choice but to, as you know, since he was the one who pinned him, that he may have to get an opportunity of those tag titles. However, it's still no indication when will that take place, but it could happen. Now, our next match is singles competition. We got Sayaka Obihiro taking on Cherry. I have to say, another good match because, as you know, Cherry has a judo background, and that's always been one of her arsenals that helps her win. I mean, not to mention putting her opponents in submission. I would have assumed that in a way in this particular match that, of course, Cherry was going to win by using an armbar. But, of course, I was noticing how Sayaka has always been ahead of the game, realizing that she could put her in any type of submission if she wanted to. But apparently there was one submission that she did not count on. Now, normally, Cherry is very methodical. She only goes for the arm. However, in this scenario, she went for the oldest submission we know of. We're talking about the Boston Crab. That kind of sealed the deal for Cherry to win the match. And of course, this was a big disappointing loss for Sayaka Obihiro. Now, our next match, we have tag team action. We got Chiko Shikawa and Sayaka teaming up one last time. Taking on Yuko Sakurai from Colors, and of course the Super Asia champion Balanaki. Now this is the first time I see these two team up with, as you know, Yuko Sakurai had made appearances in the past at Got to Move. Some matches where she lost, some matches where she won, and it's great that she teams up with the champion. So you probably would assume that this match, I have to say it was a pretty good match. I have to say Sayaka and Chi really kicked it up a notch on this one as a tag team. But was it going to be enough against two of the most experienced wrestlers? I'm talking about Balanaki. Not only because he's the current Super Agent champion, but also he knows exactly what to do. And of course, Yuko Sakurai, who we seen her with Colors, and also one of the members of Cosmic Angels, and also freelancing all over. We all know her story. She's everywhere. But I think it had no effect. But it was Balanaki with the big splash and gave the pin onto Sayaka on the big move, giving them the win. Now, the way this entire show ended, we had the Jonkin tournament. Now, I would have assumed that Balanaki would have had a chance, like somewhere around second round or so on, but nope, it did not. So he was eliminated. So was Chi Koshikawa. But I did not anticipate Cherry to win, but Cherry won. As you know, I don't know how she was able to do it, but she wins the piece of chocolate. So I think that's pretty much how it took place. But I think it's time to end it right here with ChocoPro and move on with New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle Autumn Day 2. Okay, Day 2 of New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle Autumn. This one took place in Korakuen Hall on the 15th, which is today. Their opening match, we have Bullet Club members Geto and Kenta taking on Suzuki-gun members Takumi Chinuku and Taichi. Now, you probably would have assumed in this type of match, Bullet Club has it right in the bag due to the fact that Kenta is one of the most dangerous strikers. I would agree. However, Taichi is very clever of what he can do, as you know. He always finds a way to win it. But this time, he did it by applying the Geto clutch onto Geto. And 1, 2, 3 is over. That's 1 up for Bullet Club for Suzuki-gun onto Bullet Club. Now, our next match, we have trios action. We got, of course, a very interesting dynamic. Our first team is Ren Narita, the son of Strong Style, teaming up with GBH, Tomoaki Hamna, and Togi Makabe to take on the members of Chaos, consistent of Toru Yano, Hiroki Goto, and Tomohiro Ishii. Now, this particular match, we kind of figured it was going to end with seeing Ren Narita and Ishii getting in each other's faces. Now, the reason I say this is because Ishii has the tendency to fight the toughest SOBs on the planet. That's who he is. Give him a chop, he'll chop you back because he wants the challenge. That's how it is. But Ren Narita, I don't know if he's ever come across Ishii in the past, but I have to say this whole thing is going to end with one of them ended up in a hospital or so. But the match ended with the GTR by Hiroki Goto onto Hamna, and 1, 2, 3, it's over. But however, Narita and Ishii continued their little fight. So basically, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. So someone needs to control these guys. Next up, we got Suzuki-gun, Doiki, El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, and El Desperado taking on Tiger Mask, Master Wato, Alex Zane, and David Finlay. Now, keep in mind, Despy has a little date with Destiny with Master Wato in a somewhat of a 4-way match against him. But not to mention their history towards each other. As you know, there were times, of course, we've seen Wato submits Desperado. But however, would history repeat itself? That's always been the clear question. But no, not in this time. It was David Finlay with the Trash Panda that sealed the deal when he did that onto, I believe, on Doiki. 1, 2, 3, Finlay won. But don't forget, Wato will be in a 4-way with Desperado to take on Taiji Shimura, who's the current champion, and Hiramu. Now, our next match, we have, of course, God, Yado, and Hikuleo taking on the members of House of Torture, more specifically, Sho and Yujiro. Now, in this particular match, you probably would have assumed Hikuleo has it in the back, but once again, the dirty tactics from House of Torture has always been the X factor. They always cheat by using weapons, the garage, all of it. However, the only threat that House of Torture knows they need to deal with is the big man himself, Hikuleo, which they try to isolate him, but it did give time for Yujiro to do the pimp juice and giving them the win. But you can tell by this that House of Torture will not tolerate Hikuleo getting an opportunity for the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. Now our next match, we got LIJ, Titan, Bushi, Sanada, and Naito taking on the United Empire, consistent of that sibling little weasel, Gideon Gray, the Great Okan, and of course our current IWGP Tag Team Champions, Francesco Akira and TJP. Now keep in mind, it was Bushi that pinned Akira. Akira will do anything to dismantle Titan. I have to say Titan has shown very how he's been reliable for the members of LIJ. Now keep in mind, LIJ, they normally talk about having new members behind closed doors, but this time they are very appreciated. But once again, the teamwork between Bushi and Titan has been very cohesive, and now it appears in this particular match, once again Titan pinned Gray, once again sending a clear message to the tag champions that they will be coming for those titles. But however, should Francesco Akira and TJP take them seriously, they should, because if they let their guard down, then there is the strong possibility that they may lose them. Now our next match, we have the other members of LIJ, more consistently Hiromu and Shingo taking on El Phantasmo and Taiji Shimura. Now keep in mind, this little rivalry between Shingo and El Phantasmo is taking it very long. As you know, El Phantasmo destroyed the trophy, but once again, as you know, last time, the last match they had, it was ended in a disqualification by Shingo, but this time the disqualification goes to El Phantasmo, but this time he go into the face of Shingo. But of course, it was LIJ that won the match, but El Phantasmo said that once they get to their match here in the States, in New York City, anything goes. So this is going to be one banger of a match coming up soon. Now our next two matches are the first round of the IWGP World Television title. Our first match, we have Evil taking on Aaron Henare. Now keep in mind, Aaron Henare believes this title's meant for them, but you know Evil, he will do anything to get this match. But however, there was a lot of dirty tactics, like once again, did Togo turning off the light in order to ensure that Evil, it backfired, but it took a bit of a while for Evil to capitalize until he got the Everything is Evil onto Henare, winning the match. However, Great Okan seems disappointed that Henare couldn't get the job done. However, the next match, it features another member of United Empire, Jeff Cobb. Now, Jeff Cobb has bragged how he has Yoshihashi's number, which of course is true, but Yoshihashi knows it, so he has to put up his best at his ability to try to beat Jeff Cobb. Now, Jeff Cobb is a big individual. He knows it. But in this particular case, somehow Yoshihashi was able to overcome this match and won it. And of course, this was the biggest upset in Yoshihashi's career. To me, we have talked about Yoshihashi in the past, how he is an underdog. And I have to say, Yoshihashi is one of the ultimate underdogs. He lost many times to Jeff Cobb, but now he has one on him. Basically, Jeff Cobb is very furious. But Jeff Cobb did mention in the post-match comments that not only he's rooting for Khan, he wants Yoshihashi to win it so he can take that title off of him. So we'll see what happens then. So I think this is going to be an interesting development involving this tournament. I can't wait to see who's going to go all the way to the end. But however, Yoshihashi has to deal with the man who everybody hates, and that is Evil. So we'll see what happens from then on. So right now, let's move on to our last review, NWA USA. Okay, NWA USA opened up with a non-title match with the current NWA Women's Tag Team Champions, Pretty Empower, Ella Envy, and Kenzie Page. They attacked their opponents, Kisa, Kate, and Maddie Rinkowski, or just simply Maddie, to show them that they are the best tag team. However, this was a non-title match. Now, you probably would have... There was a lot of factors that the commentators made perfect sense. Pretty Empower are a well-established tag team. True. But how would Misa Kate and Maddie Rinkowski fit in? Well, we don't know how. But the biggest upset is the fact that Kate and Maddie picked up a good win when she applied the reality check onto, I think, who was it? Oh, yeah, onto Ella, giving Misa Kate to do the pinfall. 1, 2, 3 is over. But if it was a title match, Misa Kate and Maddie Rinkowski would have won. But however, that did not happen. This is the biggest upset in Pretty Empower's history. But the real question is, will they get an opportunity for the tag titles? That is something we definitely could see. Now, Kyle Davis, as you know, he has called out for an interview with Tom Latimer. Now, Latimer has been dealing with the crap of EC3, you know, saying that he wants him to unleash his demons and all this. Latimer doesn't want that, but he wants to beat the crap out of EC3. That has always been clear, but we'll see how that goes. Now, our next interview we have with May Valentine. This time she meets up with Kratos. Now, Kratos, as you know, has his issues towards Aaron Stevens. So basically, he said that he will be challenging him one way or another, even if he doesn't want to. He doesn't believe that he's retired, so we'll see where it goes. Now, our next match is the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship. We have Doug Williams, who I kind of find weird being involved in this match, taking on Homicide. I would have assumed this match, you probably would have thought, okay, Doug Williams has it under because he's one of the most well-respected, well-recognized wrestlers of his time, and we all thought he could win it. But no, once again, the aggressiveness and dirty tactics of Homicide is kicked in when he applied the Boston Crab onto Doug Williams, forcing him to tap out. Now, our next interview we get is from Kyle Davis from earlier in the day. He interviews Austin Idol and, of course, Zion, or as he like to call himself, the Great Zion. Kyle Davis, as you know, he hears rumors and stories about how they're saying about the Zion is not 100% due to an injury. Idol doesn't believe that. Even Zion had something to say about that, so he knows what's at stake. Not to mention, he's carrying a title that his own father, Austin Idol, has carried. So basically, he's not gonna take this kindly. So he's gonna move forward with it. Now, our next match, we have the Fixers. It was supposed to be a 6-man tag match, but Matt Vine was hurt. It became a handicap 2-on-3. We had the Fixers taking on Mercurio and the Ill Begun, consisting of Jeremiah Plukin and Alex Taylor. This match was mostly dominated by the Fixers. You know, these guys are two of the biggest individuals, but it was a double powerbomb onto Pluckett that allowed for Wrecking Ball to pick up the win. And of course, if the opposing team would have pinned the Fixers, they would have got an opportunity of the NWA United States Tag Team titles, but nope, it did not. Now, we have two interviews. We have the Question Mac involved. They're saying that he is the true question mark, but however, we'll see when that day comes. Now, May Valentine interviews Matt Taven. As you know, he's there for a reason. Many people are questioning him. Is he going for the tag titles or the NWA World title? We don't know, because right now he will be in a match against Trevor, a man that he knows that he's far more dangerous. He's a big dog and all that sort of thing. So he knows what he's getting himself into, but we'll see what happens when he faces him. Now, originally we were supposed to have our main event featuring Anthony Mayweather and Jack Sane, but however, Mayweather felt, you know, I had it with this crap. You know, I'm done. You know, I beaten you already. I'm done. You know, Chris Silva thinks he's too much of a coward, but no, he felt, you know, I'm done with it. But Jack Sane crossed the line because Mayweather was with his son. Once again, Jack Sane caused another problem by kicking him in the groin and all that stuff, you know, sending a direct message. Now, Mayweather had enough with him because he knows no matter what he does, every time when he seems like he's done with Dane, he keeps appearing out of nowhere. The last time this happened is when they were in the running for the NWA World Television Title tournament, and of course, when Mayweather said he was in, Jack Sane is in. His attorney Silvio has been nothing but a problem. But sooner or later, there may have to have a conclusion where if Mayweather wins, Dane leaves him alone. That's what I think they should do. But we'll see what happens then and down the line with NWA. So I think that's pretty much it. So let's move on with our final thing, news updates. Okay. Our last news update on the previous episode featured, of course, I mentioned GCW heading to Mexico for a 2-night event. Well, one of these nights, it's been revealed that Joey Janela is now Joey 3-belt Janelas. You probably say, wait a minute, did he won another belt? Well, yes, he won the, this is from the promotion Vanguardia. He won the Vanguardia Extraordinario Championship. So he's now champion in 3 different promotions in 3 different countries. The DDT Extreme Championship from Japan, then of course GCW Extreme here in the States, and now in Mexico, the Vanguardia Extraordinario Championship. So he is now Joey 3-belt. I wouldn't be surprised the next time we see him in any GCW event, he comes out with 3 belts. We definitely got to see. Now, as you know, Saraya has been making headway since she made her debut in AEW. She even talked about who she would like to face in AEW. And you guys tell me what you think. She said that she likes to face Nyla Rose, Sunny Kiss, but even though Sunny wrestles in the men's division, but hopefully one day she said she would like to have that. And then there's Jade Cargill and Jamie Hayter. I have to say, Rose, Jade, and Hayter are 3 of good choices for her to pick. But there was also talk about the reasons what happened with Saraya, why she chose WWE. There's more information coming out over that. This is sort of a bit of old news. It just told that Vince McMahon failed to mention that Saraya's contract with WWE already was going to expire. So Triple H wanted her back, but it appears that she chose AEW because I know WWE were trying to get her back as a manager role. We know that Saraya would love to get back in the ring, but now it's been told that she's been cleared to wrestle, so that kind of thing kind of blew out of the water for everybody, for WWE getting their hopes, thinking that she would come back. Now keep in mind, it's no one's fault, but WWE officials keep screwing things up when it comes to wrestlers who's supposed to have been saying they can't wrestle no more, but we find out they can. Now, the Unagi watch, as I mentioned earlier today in Japan time, Unagi went live on Instagram, streamed, and to be honest, I did not witness it. I've been hearing this all over Twitter. Unagi was crying. Many fans were a little concerned about what was she crying about. I've been following Twitter the entire time, what's been happening. But not to worry, people. If you guys heard things like that, let me explain what's going on from what I've been seeing from Twitter. The reason Unagi was crying wasn't because of how things are going for her. It's more like she's happy with the encouragement of the fans and the support she's getting from them. And not to mention feeling she's not alone. Now, keep in mind, she doesn't have anybody from the Cosmic Angels with her. I know it sucks, but possibly that's the rules that they have, that they cannot have any of them by her side any way possible. But as you know, as of now, let's just give all the love and support to Unagi. She needs it. We know that we will love to see her back with Stardom if that's the case. And yes, we should do that. So I already did that. Send her, we're happy. And right now, as you know, today is the 15th. It should be the 16th over there in Japan. She will be having her second match in the freelance world in an 8-person tag match at World Woman Pro Wrestling Diana in Corkin Hall. I can't wait to see what's going to take place. Like I said, I haven't seen the one with Just Tap Out, but hopefully I get a chance. But I think that's pretty much it what we got. So I believe it's time to call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, I have 2 new reviews I want to do. These are just the most recent ones. One is from GCW versus Freedoms. And of course, we got the latest Tokyo Issue Pro Wrestling. I'm excited for that one. And of course, New Japan Strong. I can't wait to go with that one. Where we have Fred Rouser put his title on the line against Chris Dickinson. And if there's any other news updates, I will post those out too. So I think that's pretty much it what we got. So I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.